I have something really serious that I need to talk to you guys about. Which Hannah Montana album is better? You know, there's people dying in the world, and there are people that are trying to figure out which Hannah Montana album is the best. Some of us are really suffering. What's up, everybody? My name is Johnny2000, and it occurred to me that not a lot of you are subscribed to me, so I would love you to join me on my nostalgic journey into the 2000s. We talk about digital media, video games, and even more. So hit that subscribe button and join me. So the first soundtrack of Hannah Montana brought us all the basics, the story elements that we wanted to understand in the show, the tone of what Hannah Montana was going to be, like just basically establishing everything. Hannah Montana 3 focused on having a lot more fun since they got a lot more comfortable with 1 and 2. We finally got He Could Be the One, which is one of my favorites. And then 4 was the dramatic finale album, of course. Why did I skip 2? Because it's the best one. Let's talk about 2. 2 is a double-length album. One side completely devoted to Hannah Montana, the other side completely devoted to Miley Cyrus. They didn't only want you to get familiar with one of the characters, they wanted you to understand the best of both worlds, no pun intended. I really want to break down what makes this album so good, so why don't you guys join me on this journey and let's dive deep into every song. You wanna... Oh, another fan!
This double-length album is so tightly coincided with Season 2 that I think it's worth walking back down memory lane for it.
During the production of the first season of Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus stated that right now we're just all really focused on making Hannah Montana, the show, as good as it can be, but hopefully in the future there could be a Hannah Montana soundtrack. She states that most of the songs for the first season reflect the show, with Miley or Hannah making sure the other doesn't get caught or whatever, saying that the tracks provided his producers with the opportunity to make sure that everybody understood the characters. By comparison, Cyrus described the material used during the second season as more speaking out to the fans. Describes Cyrus's vocals on her personal tracks as being lower and throatier with a more organic and rock-oriented instrumentation. Throughout this record, Kathy Kamen Goldmark from Common Sense Media noted that its positive, self-empowering messages for teen girls. Hannah Montana 2 continued to discuss Cyrus's double life on the program, notably in tracks like Rockstar and Old Blue Jeans, and friendships are addressed during Right Here, You and Me Together, and True Friend. The songs Nobody's Perfect, Make Some Noise, and Life's What You Make It discuss maintaining Miley's optimistic look on life. Hannah Montana 2 was later reissued as a 2-disc special edition only in Japan, and it included a remix of We Got the Party with the Jonas Brothers.
So Hannah Montana 2, on disc 1 we have We Got the Party. So this upbeat anthem is about having fun and friends, which mirrors the high energy and tight-knit friendship between Miley, Lily, Oliver, especially jumping between their new personas and Miley's double life. We capture the tone of the more exciting, we're talking about the perks of being Hannah Montana and enjoying the double life for all the positives at its highest points. Then we have Nobody's Perfect, a significant theme for Miley throughout Season 2. She's learning about her mistakes, especially with her double life becoming more complex, and it embodies the message of self-acceptance and resilience, especially when you create bad situations for yourself, as most teenagers do, with relationships, family dynamics becoming a lot more tough. It's important to remember that nobody is a perfect person. High energy celebrates that nobody's perfect. It's kind of like We Got the Party, but acknowledging the flaws and becoming a little bit more real. Then we have Make Some Noise. This is a really good theme for the second season, especially with Miley's constant contemplation between Jake Ryan and Achy Jakey Heart, her increased independence, and her complicated relationship toward her dad. Everything becomes a lot more difficult in her life when it comes to making decisions, and it's really important that Miley stands up for herself and, despite her imperfections, celebrates it all. I feel like it's the perfect tie-in of We Got the Party, Nobody's Perfect. Actually takes both of those songs' high energy and mellows it out to be kind of like a be true to yourself anthem. Oh, and then of course we have my favorite song, Rockstar. This is what they started with in the Best of Both Worlds tour, and it's definitely my favorite song. It's the contrast between Miley's ordinary life and the glamorous pop star identity, with her being the most confident in the more confident side of her. I see a lot of Miley struggling with balance, particularly in episodes with the Hannah Montana persona and how it affects her relationships, but at this instant we're just partying and enjoying it. Then we have Old Blue Jeans. This one has never really stuck out to me too much, and I've not paid much attention to it, but the nostalgia and simplicity in this track is like, it's really sweet because it like emphasizes Miley's desire for normalcy, which is a recurring theme in season 2 and in growing up as a teenager. It's important to want to hold on to the past and prepare for the future without necessarily overthinking it. And I feel like Miley longs for simplicity in her life. And the show really highlights how we take normal life for granted, and sometimes even pop stars can desire to be normal, as opposed to just being herself and desiring to be at the forefront of the paparazzi. Then we got Life's What You Make It. It's a super optimistic track, which is aligning with the season's messages of personal growth and resilience, especially when she comes to conflicts with Lily and Oliver, her dad. It seems like in moments where she doesn't have as much control, this song underscores the idea that she is inevitably in charge of her choices. Although Miley Stewart tends to dodge accountability or hide from the truth, it feels like she's at her strongest when she takes accountability and embraces the choices she's making in her life. One in a Million. So this song fits Miley's complicated romantic relationships, particularly for Jake Ryan, as she navigates her crush and the struggles of keeping her double life from affecting their relationship. The song's message of finding somebody special that really resonates with you is a important thing in Miley's emotional journey in season 2. And I'd argue that it's not only about One in a Million in terms of romantic, it's also in terms of having that special moment in your life that you desperately want to hold on to and focusing on just that. Bigger Than Us. The theme of this track can be linked to Miley's growing awareness of how her double life affects not only her, but also her friends and family. Common within all Disney Channel shows, especially like Wizards of Waverly Place, That's So Raven. It's like the stakes are becoming so high, but when you kind of lean back on your family, it's fun to know that like love is more important than anything. You and Me Together is the song's focus on togetherness reflects Miley's relationships with Lily and Oliver particularly. Like it shows how important their friendship is, and even when tested, how Miley relies on them to navigate the complexities of her life. And while she may act like she can go off without them at any point, it does seem like she's the most vulnerable when she's with them and has a connection to them, which is a great end for the album with True Friend, which is the perfect anthem for Miley's friendships, which this season is the strongest on. The song highlights loyalty and support she receives from Lily and Oliver and how much that means to her. Without her friends in her double life, I feel like things would not have gone so well for her. Like if Miley never told Lily or Oliver and she kind of kept it to herself, it falls in the category of refusing to grow up and kind of keeping your insecurities within. But as life does, when you grow up and you start letting more people into your life, you see a better side of you. You see yourself in a true friend, and that is what I feel like the show is all about. The strength of their friendship and all the new challenges and emotional growth that no matter what, friends will always get you through. Then we have the second side. So this is cool because, obviously there's a Hannah Montana album for every season, but this is the one and only season that has the Meet Miley Cyrus side, where they take Hannah Montana so seriously that they actually do want to highlight Miley Cyrus. The whole show focuses on this girl's separate identity, like everything she does in this specific world, but actually diving back into what everything is about for Miley Stewart and her morals and everything she believes in, how that translates to Hannah Montana, what Miley might be going through herself, and reminding the audience that this is definitely like one person and everybody has more than one side to them, and it's not just Miley Cyrus. And especially as the internet became more prominent, it's very clear that you do have two sides to you. And Miley is really good at teaching you how to embrace it early on. I feel like this show really helped me navigate internet culture as it became a thing, as I saw myself living a double life as online Johnny and real life Johnny, trying to take control of what is positive and what's negative, and trying to make each life about one specific thing, when really life is about just letting things happen and accepting who you are and what will naturally come. And that's my favorite part about having Hannah Montana and Meet Miley Cyrus. The nostalgia begins with See You Again. It's the track that includes Miley Cyrus's independent persona. It's excitement and nervous, and the song is always linked to Miley's like romantic feelings to having another persona, and maybe even Jake Ryan. I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit more of Miley Cyrus than Miley Stewart, and but it would be a great layer. It's a great foundation for balancing feelings and growing up. And then we have East Northumberland High, and this is nostalgic to me because it's like, of course, they finally go to high school, and I know it's not tightly correlated to each other, but it just feels a lot more relevant. The song's theme is like being interested in mirroring Miley's on-again, off-again feelings in this new environment, and it captures like the playful yet conflicting emotions that come with her romantic life. And then we have a really fun one, the carefree Let's Dance, which is like just makes you want to get up and dance, and it reflects Miley's desire to have joy inside of her life outside of the pressures of fame. That Miley doesn't go to Hannah Montana to have fun. Both Miley and Hannah have fun in their own right, and there's both positives and negatives. And these small moments where you can just dance and enjoy yourselves with your friends is the best part of being Hannah Montana. And of course, that brings us to GNO, Girls Night Out, which is echoing Miley's need for time with her friends, particularly Lily. And as they face new relationship and friendship challenges that might be limited to individuals as opposed to an entire group, like not necessarily just about men or women, but about the urge to step away from all of life's expectations and just enjoy yourself. Having fun and letting loose is so present in these episodes where Miley and her friends enjoy being teens despite the pressures of Miley's secret life and just growing up in general. Right here is the song's message of offering unwavering support connects Miley's relationships with Lily, Robbie Ray, and throughout season 2, Miley really relies on her family, especially in episodes where she has to navigate emotional challenges. As I Am is about accepting yourself and being accepted by others, which directly ties to Miley's dilemma about revealing her secret identity to the different people in her life, and especially when she comes with internal struggles with her mom and Rico and more people in her supporting life. She needs to reaccept herself every time she meets somebody new, because as somebody comes into your life, you see new sides of yourself, and this isn't only about Miley accepting herself as she is, but also being ready for other people to accept her, and despite that, being loved for who she truly is. We have Start All Over. It's the reflection of Miley's desire to have a fresh start with her relationships as she continues to struggle with the complications of her double life. It's particularly relevant in episodes where Miley makes huge mistakes, but learns to move forward like it happens so much in this episode. Then we have Clear, which is like a really pretty song that I didn't discover until way after this album came out. It's like the theme of wanting clarity and understanding in your life. When you make that revelation that something is good or bad for you in middle or high school, it's that idea of looking through the fog and seeing something for what it really is, especially as we see Miley's back and forth experiences with Lily and Oliver. Good and Broken is a great song about like resilience and picking yourself back up when things go wrong, because Miley is just such a flawed character and she's so confident in it, especially as her emotional growth continues. She faces more personal challenges, and the track encapsulates her determination to just keep going even when things feel complicated. And then I Miss You. While this song is about loss, it can also be tied to Miley's feelings of missing the simplicity of her life before coming Hannah Montana. Not only is her mom missing the way things used to be. Overall, Hannah Montana to Meet Miley Cyrus is really good at reflecting Miley's evolving character throughout, specifically Season 2. The tracks of Hannah Montana to tie closely with her experiences of friendship, identity, and the pressures of balancing her double life. Meanwhile, the songs from Meet Miley Cyrus offer a really deep look into Miley as an individual, beyond Hannah Montana and a little bit beyond the show. Her emotional complexity with fame and teenage life is just something people really want to know about, and I think she does a great job at storytelling throughout this album.
Meet Miley Cyrus was omitted from the pre-released pressings, and Meet Miley Cyrus remained unreleased as a standalone album until January 2021, when both albums were reissued separately for the first time on digital platforms. At the closing ceremony of the 2007 Disney Channel Games, held on April 27, 2007, which was the first time she performed as herself and not Hannah Montana, And then she performed I Miss You on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and performed Start All Over, See You Again, and We Got the Party with the Jonas Brothers at the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve in New York City. 2008, she performed GNO in the 2007 Kids' Choice Awards. But yeah, that's all we got for Hannah Montana Season 2. This is definitely one of the peak seasons for the show's development, if not one of the better seasons for sure. We've taken a major step up since Season 1, and it is so beautiful to get a new take on this. Thank God Hannah Montana was brought back, because I feel like this is where the show really found its stride. Along with the promotional material, even the 2 soundtracks, this series has become more than a franchise. It's become like a way of living. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's really good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Johnny2000, and this was another video, I guess. Stay tuned for more videos. I have another Hannah Montana video coming out soon, and I'm gonna dive a little bit more into Teen Nick. So I hope you guys will stick around with me. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I'm Johnny2000. Have a great day.